Welcome to Yarns Down Under. Pro-revenge.
Lock my funds.
Locked my dosh over a blunder, gave their social media a right shellacking and got paid for it. For some bloody reason, I thought it was a top idea to trust a tiny local credit union, let's call them the South Coast Community Mutual, with a decent chunk of my dosh. I've been burned by the big four banks before, and a mate had convinced me the local CU had better rates and a friendlier vibe. Turns out friendly meant incompetent. The whole schmozzle kicked off when my card decided to chuck a spectacular tantrum at the ATM. It swallowed the plastic for a sec, then spat it out with a cryptic message about a processing error. Frustrated, I went inside the branch. A clerk, trying to be helpful, gave me a special code to use that bypassed the card and allowed me to deduct cash directly from my account. This was a legitimate feature they had, a supposed bit of local convenience. I thought, no worries, problem solved. Fast forward a few days and the CU's old rickety system flagged my account for review. Why? Because of some minor accounting muck-up on their end. The teller's special code had logged the transaction, but the system was actually late in deducting the balance. It was a late ledger entry, a rounding error in the grand scheme of things, not me going into the red or trying anything dodgy, just a minor, pathetic blunder from the bank. And yet, for over a month, all my funds were locked. I couldn't pay the rent, had to borrow cash from a mate to buy groceries, and the entire inconvenience was a financial chokehold. Oh, I was absolutely ropeable. Every time I'd ring their support line, I'd cop these snarky responses after being on hold listening to tinny synthesizer music for 20 minutes. The customer service reps, with that fake sympathetic tone, would tell me they understood my frustration, but that the serious review process was out of their hands. Worse still, the patronising tone was often laced with a hint that they didn't like my foreign-sounding surname. One bloke even went so far as to say, well, sir, perhaps if your details weren't quite so complicated, these things wouldn't happen. It was an appalling display of bureaucratic arrogance and barely concealed prejudice. I was ready to pull my hair out. Then one Sunday afternoon, while the family was having a barbecue and I was whining about the situation for the 10th time, my younger cousin, Liam, who's a bit of a tech head, came up with a corker of an idea. He'd stumbled across this weird Russian service online that pays people a few Russian rubles, about a cent AUD each, not much more than a quid's worth, to post whatever you tell them on social media. You're paying actual Russians to yell at their Facebook page, my old man scoffed, but I was desperate. The service was an absolute treat. I carefully crafted a series of complaints, some written in the voice of a concerned retiree, others as an outraged small business owner, and a few mixing Aussie outrage with official-sounding financial jargon. The website even lets me pick between American-looking profiles and other locales to maximise the chaos. After the best $5 I've ever spent and a few cleverly worded AI prompts, the South Coast Community Mutual social media pages, which usually just posted photos of sausage sizzles and told people to have a great weekend, were absolutely flooded with hundreds of complaints. The page went from being all about local community spirit to a dog's breakfast in a matter of hours. This got straight to the bigwigs because later that very same day, the bank's call centre manager personally rang my mobile. The tone shift was incredible. He was no longer a condescending gatekeeper, he was practically begging. He said they fully understood my frustration, and even if I wanted to bail on the account immediately, the bank was ready to initiate an immediate transfer of my full balance, plus a $75 compensation, nice little bit of extra money, to any other bank I chose. Problem solved, and what a victory it was. They probably realised there was no way to tie the social media blitz back to me, given the source, and panicked. They folded and paid me off. Too bad I can't tell those Russian bots to take down their posts. The credit union's poor social media intern is going to be stuck dealing with that mess for weeks. That'll be someone else's problem now, eh? Do you know of any other financial institutions that need a bit of a shake-up?
Thanks for watching another clip by Yarns from Down Under. If you enjoyed this clip, please hit the thumbs up, the subscribe button and the bell. Another story from Yarns from Down Under will drop real soon. Cheers.